Hello everyone, have a good day. My name is Muhammad Haziq Aiman bin WAHID. Today, I will present to you guys about chapter 8, which is social decision theory. For the basic insight, the idea of social decision theory was first discovered by Board and Condorcet. Social decision theory, which using the general method for reaching a consensus among humans are voting, such as majority rule. However, the result of voting are often inconsistent, largely due to the inconsistency of voting rules. Majority rule may be inconsistent because people's preferences and opinions can change over time or in different contexts, leading to different outcomes based on when and how a decision is made. Social decision theorist found by two scholars, which is Frenchman Nicolas de Condorcet 1743 to 1794, who advocate a voting record majority voting, and American Kenneth Arrow, who is born in 1921, who introduced a general approach to preference aggregation, collective preference. Let's say probability of individual voting correctly is P and probability of individual voting incorrectly is 1 minus P. According to Condorcet 1786, if P is more than 0.5, which means when the voters' numbers are increased, then P probability that majority will vote correctly, will also increase to approach 1. This is the basis for democracy. Next, for Condorcet paradox, I will give you guys a simple example. Suppose there are 3 voters, which is voter 1, 2 and 3. Voter 1 prefers candidate A better than B, better than C. Then voter 2 prefers candidate B better than C, better than A. Meanwhile, voter 3 prefers candidate C better than A, better than B. So as you can see, there is no candidate who can beat every other candidate in a head-to-head comparison. A cycle is formed where A is better than B is better than C, and C better than A, which creating a circular preference. Now let me proceed to know about Arrow's theorem. Kenneth Arrow was the person to be the starting point for the modern social decision theory. He set out to investigate whether there is some other social decision rule than majority rule, under which cyclic social preferences can be avoided. Arrow's impossibility theorem has shown that no voting method exists which satisfies all of the following 6 conditions. For the first point is about free, which is for citizens' sovereignty. Every possible societal preference order should be permissible. The social welfare function, the preference and utility of each individual in the social group, should handle all preferences of all individuals and not have to specify which preferences qualify as legitimate or illegitimate. Second point is independence of irrelevant alternatives. Society's choice between A and B should depend only on how individuals rank A and B, and not on other information. This condition is required to prevent strategic voting and obscuring of preferences. Next, for the third point is unanimous, which called as Pareto consistency, which means if everyone in the society prefers A over B, then society must also prefer A over B. Or we can simply as fully agreement. And for the fourth point, which is completeness, it means everyone in the society can compare all alternatives. Fifth point, which is transitivity, means that if A is socially preferred to B and B is socially preferred to C, then A is socially preferred to C. And the last point, which is non-dictatorship, stated that the preferences of just one person should not determine the outcome.
Condorcet or Arrow's theorem. Which one do you think is better?
Tough call. Condorcet appeals with majority preferences. But Arrow's theorem wants there no flawless system. It's like picking between idealism and realism.
Arrow's theorem, social choice theorists suggested these way out: limiting the number of alternatives, domain restrictions, relaxing transitivity, and lastly, relaxing independence of irrelevant alternatives. So for the conclusion, Condorcet and Arrow shows that some rationality demands on a social decision procedure are not suitable. Resolving or avoiding the problems raised by Condorcet and Arrow remains one of SDT's. That's all from me, thank you everyone. If you have any question you may ask.